Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. As per royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, decisions are issued to determine Eid al-Adha leave for public and private sectors. Peaceful settlement developments of Yemeni crisis are discussed by His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs with His Excellency the Special UN Envoy to Yemen. The Sultanate and Iran exchanged the ratification documents on the Agreement of Maritime Borders definition in the Sea of Oman area. And the Civil Service Council discusses arrangement of jobs conditions and reviews the approaches of harmonizing between the work and the family. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to His Excellency Ni'matullah Yoldashev, Acting President and Chairman of the Senate of Uzbekistan, on the death of His Excellency President Islam Karimov. As per royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court, Chairman of the Civil Service Council, today issued a decision declaring the blessed Eid al-Adha leave for employees at the ministries, public authorities and other departments of the state's administrative apparatus will start from Sunday 9th Dhul Hijjah 1437 after Hijrah, corresponding to September 11th, 2016, till Thursday 13th Dhul Hijjah 1437 after Hijrah, corresponding to September 15th, 2016. Work will be resumed on Sunday, September 18th, 2016. Meanwhile, His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a decision stating that Eid al-Adha leave for employees of the private sector companies and establishments will be from Sunday 9th Dhul Hijjah 1437 Hijri, corresponding to September 11th, 2016, till Thursday 13th Dhul Hijjah 1437 Hijri, corresponding to September 15th, 2016. The decision allowed employers and employees to agree on work arrangements to compensate this leave if necessity arises, and to compensate the employees whose weekend leave coincides with the above-mentioned leave. All employees at the public and private sectors extended their greetings to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos on this blessed occasion, praying to Almighty Allah to protect His Majesty, grant him good health, happiness, long life, and for the return of this and similar occasions on His Majesty, the Omani people, and all Muslims with welfare and blessings. Developments of peaceful settlement for Yemeni crisis were discussed by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, with His Excellency Ismail Wuld Sheikh Ahmed, UN Special Envoy to Yemen. The international envoy visits the Sultanate within the efforts exerted by the United Nations to find a peaceful settlement for the Yemeni crisis. Omani-Pakistani relations were discussed by His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, with His Excellency Sirtaj Aziz, advisor to the Prime Minister of Pakistan for Foreign Affairs, who is currently on an official visit to the Sultanate. During the meeting, bilateral relations between the two countries and means of enhancing them to reach wider horizons were reviewed, in addition to a number of regional and international issues of common concern.
Political relations between Pakistan and Oman are very old, historic, geographical, religious, cultural, but now the opportunity for economic cooperation are expanding very rapidly, and we hope that after my visit we'll be able to expand these relationships, particularly in the development of the Gwadar port, in the opportunities that Pakistan-China economic corridor is offering, and also the opportunities that are now emerging in the region. So we had a very useful, and we hope that we'll upgrade our mechanisms of the Joint Commission to be able to take these opportunities both in the political level, economic level, and defense cooperation to further heights.
The Sultanate and the Islamic Republic of Iran exchanged ratification documents on the Agreement of Maritime Borders definition between the two countries in the Sea of Oman area, signed in Muscat. On behalf of the government of the Sultanate, the agreement was signed by His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Interior, and on behalf of the government of Iran by His Excellency Muhammad Jawad Zarif within the context of the visit. His Excellency, the Minister of the Interior, met with his Iranian counterpart, His Excellency Abdul Rida Rahmani. The Civil Service Council reviewed arrangement of jobs conditions to some categories of employees in line with the specializations of their work authorities. During the Council's third meeting of the year, chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of Diwan of Royal Court, Chairman of the Council, discussions touched upon technical jobs requirements and conditions of obtaining some jobs, and the efforts exerted to Omanize those jobs. The Council further discussed approaches of harmonizing between the work and the family, in addition to a number of recommendations and suggestions related to service affairs, besides requests of a number of government units to their employees sent abroad to add their basic salary at their workplace and the salary they get from the authority they are sent to. By early next year, the national program Tanfeedh will start its works, which will enhance the economic diversity to achieve the goals of the 9th five-year plan. The program will focus on performance measurement indicators and to correct deficiencies to overcome challenges that faced the Omani economy. The program came to formulate a clear work mechanism according to a specific timetable, benefiting from the international experiences such as the Malaysian experiment. The 9th five-year plan aims to decrease the contribution of oil and gas sector in the gross domestic product by 26%, compared with 44% in the 8th five-year plan. The Sultanate is committed to enforce international agreements related to environment protection prior to its implementation, which came in a training program to prepare trainers in environmental voluntary group organized by the National Center for Environment Preservation Search Field. A number of environment experts, academics and university students participated in the program to discuss local environmental issues. The program also discussed climate changes and poaching animals, in addition to the importance of recycling waste to produce eco-friendly elements in order to achieve the environmental plans by bodies concerned. In order to implement joint regional efforts and initiatives aimed to enhance women businesses, the Sultanate, in cooperation with Arab Women Organization, organized a training course about their role in the fields of development and social participation. The participants discussed in the five-day program a number of aspects which seek to improve women's efforts in development, in addition to review a number of women's initiatives at regional level. Still to come in our news bulletin. Oman Air unveils launch of digital media system in first and business class lounges at Muscat International Airport. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A number of cooperation fields between the Sultanate and Pakistan was the main aspect of discussions at the meeting of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harab al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Sirtaj Aziz, Advisor to the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan for Foreign Affairs. During the meeting, the two sides reviewed the good relations between the two friendly countries and exchanging points of view on a range of matters of common concern. In order to enable owners of small enterprises and support entrepreneurship, Al Zubair Center for Small Enterprises launched the program of the direct support to small and medium enterprises. The program, in its fourth edition, presented a number of services, including intensive consultations in various fields and workshops that are met with improving businesses, in addition to giving finance to entrepreneurs to improve their projects. The support provided to entrepreneurship field contributed in increasing the number of small and medium enterprises to reach more than 22,000 entrepreneurs in various economic sectors, out of which 8,000 enterprises come under the umbrella of entrepreneurship, which will strengthen its role and increase its size in the national economy, whereby creating job opportunities for Omani youth. In order to spread the culture of entrepreneurship and qualify owners of small and medium-sized projects, Shell Company, in cooperation with the Public Authority for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Development, launched the Interlakra Training program. The program aims to support entrepreneurs and owners of small and medium-sized projects in training and qualifying fields. The program includes training courses and specialized workshops in projects about business. The program as well will present business studies to owners of small and medium projects, which provide finance to entrepreneurs, as well as strengthen the partnership between the private sector and the government establishments through feuding and directing Omani youth to invest in various economic and logistic fields. This will lead to achieve value added to the national economy. On the Interlakra program, Mr. Chris Breeze, chairman of the board of Shell Oman Company, had this to say.
Sustainable development in Oman is that we bring long Shell experience through the International Livewire program and also through the Interlakra program of helping entrepreneurs start up companies and make a success out of their commercial ventures. The evolution of the program over the last 20 years, as you know, we started Interlakra in 1995 in Oman in response to Vision 2020 and in particular in response to the desire to diversify the economy and to increase the size of the private sector. We started it over 20 years ago, and since then there have been a number of different means of delivering the program. The focus at the moment is not purely training, it's training and supporting the ecosystem for the entrepreneurs so that when they encounter problems we are flexible in managing to deal with those problems and helping them get through the particularly difficult early stages of commercial life for any entrepreneur.
Oman Air unveiled the launch of the digital media system in the lounges reserved for guests of the first and business classes at Muscat International Airport. That comes by allocating a digital media library considered one of the biggest electronic paper libraries being developed by experts specialized in digital media. This service allows customers to download special packages from readable subjects through an integrated digital application which includes international magazines and daily newspapers. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate, partly cloudy skies, partly cloudy to cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhafar and its nearby mountains. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with cloud accumulation and scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Low clouds and fog late at night and early morning are expected over most of the coasts of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be easterly to northeasterly, light to moderate over the coasts of Sea of Oman, while on the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea it will be southwesterly, moderate to active. Seas will be rough along the coasts of the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 4 meters and slight to moderate along the coasts of the Arabian Sea with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. As per royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, decisions are issued to determine Eid al-Adha leave for public and private sectors. Peaceful settlement developments of Yemeni crisis are discussed by His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs with His Excellency the Special UN Envoy to Yemen. The Sultanate and Iran exchanged the ratification documents on the Agreement of Maritime Borders definition in the Sea of Oman area. And the Civil Service Council discusses arrangement of jobs conditions and reviews the approaches of harmonizing between the work and the family. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.